Crime and its effects. As South Africans, one of our main preoccupations is talking about crime and its effects on us. And so it is no surprise that artists are making work which looks at the theme in different ways. Control Room by Angela de Jesus is an exploration of the way that violence and crime has forced us to change the way we live in South Africa's centre. We live in a society where it is taken for granted that we are being watched at all times, either by surveillance cameras, security guards, or just a weary public, always on the lookout for crime and criminals. The control room of the title refers to the surveillance which takes place in a general dealer's store and shows us the views of both the watched and the watcher. The projection on the screen above is of the perspective of the shopkeeper surveying his customers, and in the plinth below the projection is a screen with the view of the shopkeeper from the perspective of the customer. Both the watched and the watcher are controlled and trapped in the cycle of fear and surveillance that crime creates. A very powerful comment on the effects of violence, domestic violence, and particularly child rape is depicted in the work called Shattered Innocence by Richard Bollers. It is unfortunately another trauma which takes place all too often in the South African society. The artist shows 3 generations of women who are affected by this violence and focuses on the loss of innocence of a girl child made pregnant by rape. Scenes of her lost childhood are shown as shadows on her skirt, and a pool of blood at her feet vividly depicts the violence she has been subjected to. The shattered innocence of the title could very well also apply to the perpetrator of the violence. He is shown shackled and with an hourglass above his head, perhaps signaling the loss of his life and potential productive years lost by imprisonment. A work which also addresses the effects of crime, but which hints at ways to deal with its trauma in a productive and healing way, is the piece entitled Necklace to Tara by Joanne Block. It is a long string of beads that lists everything the artist lost in a hijacking, both the physical things lost in the theft and the emotions lost, such as a sense of excitement and a sense of safety. Being a victim of crime is a very common experience in South Africa, but few of us do anything to heal its trauma and deal with its effects. And the nature of this work, both in its making, by stringing the beads together, and in its reading, by fingering the beads to read the list, gives suggestions as to how we could begin a creative process of meditation and healing after being a victim of crime. The use of beads to pray or meditate is common to many religions, but in this case the artist is offering the necklace to a Buddhist goddess, Tara.